You could probably hear it's raining here, so I figured we'll just make this the ASMR intro. Or as I like to call it, ASMR. It's the bottom of the ninth. The score is 32 It Was Thens. And Venom and Elsa treated us to a halftime show, flipping around through the air with Elsa glued to his back. A lovely little interlude. But now it's back to the action as Carnage and Serpentine check out the Mundus Calcator from their library in a way Yo-Yo Ma would not approve of. You can contact us by emailing fanficnight@orderoftheleague.com. You can send us fan art, feedback, whatever you want. Don't do anything weird, you freak. Don't. This is Fanfiction Theater, a celebration of naive writing and all of its foibles, flaws, and unintentional hilarity. Thanks for watching.
Meanwhile, in the city of Arendelle, Carnage was working on his assignment that his mysterious master had given him. Truth be told, he was a little disappointed that Venom wasn't there since he was in the North Mountain with his precious queen. He was hoping for some sort of challenge. Also on top...
I'm picturing him like doing homework.
Right. Like he's like, this jumble is besting me. I wish we were fighting Venom. Also, on top of that, Serpentine insisted to the master that he tagged along as well to help identify and retrieve the Mundus Calcator, much to Carnage's aggravation. He always preferred to work alone when it came to causing mayhem. Still, they were close to achieving their objective as they approached the Royal Museum of Arendelle. If Carnage had it his way, the two of them would have retrieved the book the good old-fashioned way. Crash the museum in their true forms and kill everyone in the way, even the ones who weren't just for the fun of it. What? Okay. However, Serpentine intervened on that part of the mission as well. Still, Carnage couldn't deny that Serpentine's reasons for doing it that way were sound. It's spelled exactly like Serpentine, by the way, but I figured to give it a real, like, name feel, you know?
Yeah.
According to Serpentine, it was best they visited the museum incognito, using their human forms in order to locate the Mundus Calcator. Once they found the book, then
Larry?
The fun can begin.
That's his slogan.
The fun can begin. Walking into the museum, Serpentine, or in his human form, Prince Hans, along with Carnage, Cletus Cassidy, were greeted by Jewel, the museum director. Okay, so wait, Serpentine is Prince Hans?
That's a big reveal, right?
We
didn't know this before, did we?
Yeah, that's...
And Prince Hans is the villain from the first Frozen, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Wait,
but then don't the Frozen people already know Prince Hans is bad?
All right, they were greeted by Jewel, the museum director. So I assume the artist from our world.
Yeah, definitely.
No idea what she talks like, but good day, gentlemen. How are you today? Probably like that, I'm guessing.
Yeah,
that's
sure.
Probably her.
She smiled and asked. Serpentine smiled and returned the pleasantry.
Is he Serpentine, or is he in his human form as Prince Hans?
Well, he introduces himself as Hans, so...
Yeah. Very well, thank you. My name is Hans, and this is my associate, Cletus.
He then shook the director's hand and politely nodded to her. Continuing to work his sociopathic charm, he quickly showed the museum director some false documents that he forged and said, "Oh, that's sociopathic charm, all right, always having forged documents on you."
Yeah. My associate and I are history professors from the University of Folksport and are here to inquire about a certain book that you have on display here, the Mundus Calcator. Now, This is after the events of Frozen, so shouldn't people know Prince Hans?
Bad
Who-
news. That's what I'm saying. I can't remember what happens to Prince Hans at the end of Frozen, but we found out he was a villain.
Yeah.
In Act 3 of
Yeah.
Frozen.
Whatever.
I mean, having
He's
never
taken
seen it, I have
some
no
liberties.
idea. But
So he's
We
better
can-
off in his Serpentine form than being Prince Hans because there's that jerk. Oh no, it's just a lizard monster. We're fine.
well, though, for all we know, the Serpentine form is literally like him with like a popped collar that kind of looks like a serpent. Like a really
Right.
popped collar.
Okay.
The director
So
thought,
he's from the evil camp,
yeah.
the rich kid camp. I hate Serpentine.
The director thought for a moment, then smiled and replied,
Ah, yes. A very interesting piece we have here.
as she said that, Prince Hans nodded and asked,
You don't suppose we could examine the book up close and personal, do you?
of course, poor Jewel, poor Jewel,
Poor
was
Jewel.
was fooled by his charm and took the bait.
The bait? Yes,
I
Professor.
really hope this ends with them grabbing the book, smacking her on the head, and running away.
Yes, Professor Hans, by all means.
She then motioned for the two of them to follow her.
Right this way.
As Hans and Cletus followed the naive director down a long corridor, she asked them,
So what exactly is your interest with this book?
to which Hans lied,
Well, Cletus and I are writing a book about various ancient texts and their significance in cultures around Europe, and this book will be one of our premier articles.
Walking through a set of double doors and into a back room, Jewel began her dialogue about the book.
Usually we keep it in our literature exhibit, but we've been renovating lately, and so it's been back here for the time being.
Walking up to a glass case, she pointed and said,
Here we are, gentlemen.
as the duo joined their guide by the glass case, they were awestruck at the book that sat before them.
So this is the legendary Mundus Calcator.
Cletus Cassidy said.
The pictures we've seen don't do it justice.
Hans smiled and said, deciding to bask in the ancient artifact's glory too,
Let's
all
just
take
strips off to a swimsuit.
I shouldn't, but I'm gonna bask.
The museum director continued her dialogue about it.
An ancient brotherhood of druids believed this book to be the key to other worlds. However, according to legend, only the most powerful and wise of sages could use the incantations in this book, mainly because they knew of the dangerous repercussions this book could have.
Before she could finish her story, Cletus knocked her out and then exclaimed,
Cletus has the hands of a surgeon.
All right, we did it your way, and now let's play, man.
turning into his true form of Carnage, he smashed open the glass case and Hans grabbed the book. He then looked at Carnage and said,
You can't argue with results, man.
Hans then turned into his true form and licked his lips with his fork-shaped tongue.
It's not a forked tongue, it's a fork-shaped tongue.
It's got 4 tines.
It's got 4 tines. It's skinny, and it spreads out at the end. Yeah, a little
Ugh.
pitchfork coming out.
All of a sudden, the double doors opened again, causing the 2 villains to turn around and see 3 security guards running in.
What's going on in here?
The head guard exclaimed before he saw Carnage and Serpentine. Carnage then let out a high-pitched, evil laugh and grabbed the 2 other guards with his tendrils and whipped out his blade hands. As he pulled the guards to him, he did another one of his laughs and exclaimed,
Let the games begin!
Oh, dude,
This
look,
guy-
he's doing one of his laughs.
this guy really doesn't have, like, anything for Carnage except, like, let's get the game on, you know? It's like,
Time for the fun times.
let the games begin. Who's got Settlers of Catan? You know, it's just... Meanwhile, Serpentine started to work on the head security guard. Although the guard drew his sword and tried to appear brave, his eyes didn't lie.
His booty sure as hell didn't lie.
Hips don't lie. As one could imagine, or you could tell us, I guess, Prince Hans's appearance as Serpentine was dramatically different from his human look. Here we go.
Okay.
He had green eyes with black diamond-shaped pupils, which were locked on the helpless guard. Although he
Like-
had a full set of hair...
Black Diamond like Crow T Robot? I'm picturing him with Crow T Robot eyes.
All right. Although he had a full set of hair, including mutton chop sideburns in his human form, he was completely hairless as Serpentine. Not sure how that works. He also possessed fangs that he used to inject venom into his victims with.
So he's bald, has jaundice, and
and has a fork-shaped tongue.
Pointy teeth, yeah.
So like, I know this is a dumb question, but is there anything from Frozen? Like, does Hans collect snakes, or I mean, does this make any sense in any way?
He was a very, very straightforward. No powers, like superpowers. No snakes. Nothing.
All right, okay. Serpentine was also capable of spitting poison at his enemies from a distance. He may have been new at being a villain, but he was still a force to be reckoned with.
We now know that Serpentine spews venom at its prey.
He then mockingly bowed to the guard as if in a duel and hissed.
And of course, he hisses, "It's your move." And he's continuing with the board game theme. Play passes to the left.
You've set off my mouse trap.
Boardwalk.
Yes.
Out of desperation and fear for his life, the guard ran forward, slashing his sword. However, much to his horror, the blade shattered when it made contact with Serpentine's skin. It is so hard to figure out the meaning from these sentences with no friggin' comments.
Yeah.
The scales covering his skin acted as natural armor and weren't even damaged from the attack. Once the guard's blade shattered, he clumsily fell over while trying to get away from his attacker. When he attempted to crawl to safety, Serpentine grabbed him and lifted him up to eye level.
Please don't kill me. Please. I don't want to die.
The guard whimpered.
Don't kill you? Tell me, where's the fun in that?
So, do you think that perhaps, because again, I haven't seen Frozen, but as I understand it, it's very it's very intentionally feminist, right? And Hans is
Sure.
I've heard that the bad guy is kind of like a nice guy or whatever. Like it's kind of
at first,
right. It's kind of, but nice guy in quotes, right? It's kind of lampooning that sort of idea, right? So is the fact that he took on he's now like an avatar of a very phallic creature. Do you think that that's what he's going for here? That he's trying to say that he's trying to push that sort of angle?
Sure. Yeah, that's...
if you want, I guess. I don't know.
Yes.
Sure.
I'm
give
trying
them
to
all the credit
I
and say that's what he's doing.
I'm trying to figure out any reason for this character being a snake now. Serpentine teased before he extended his viper fangs and struck the man in the jugular. The guard's eyes rolled back into his head as Serpentine injected his special venom into the poor man's neck.
bringing out the special venom.
Yeah. Within seconds, the victim's body began to smoke and shrivel up. Taking his fangs out, Serpentine released his grip on the body and watched it crumple to the floor. It was then, there's the drinking game. It was then he noticed Carnage.
Insert the panel of John saying, "Garfield, speak to me."
It was then he noticed Carnage walking up beside him and admiring his work. Inspecting the dead body, he said,
"Not bad, Snake Boy."
Then he formed his sledgehammer from his fist and smashed open the closest wall. The duo then exited the building while Serpentine tucked the book under his arm and prepared to depart from the city. As Carnage shot out one of his tendrils and slung away, Serpentine leapt onto a nearby rooftop and began roof jumping at a supernatural speed. As he caught up to Carnage, who was swinging over his head, a voice boomed, causing both of them to stop in their tracks.
And just to reiterate, that is not a supernatural speed. It's a supernatural speed.
Right. It's like so natural, it needs to be pointed out.
It's like chillax as hell, bro. The speed.
Serpentine Carnage.
The skeleton head of their master, Tyrannus, appeared before them in a cloud of smoke, causing Carnage to land next to Serpentine while asking...
Did we have a name before? Is this the reveal?
I think this is the first time we got a name.
Okay. A lot of stuff being casually revealed in...
Yeah.
Okay. What can we do for you, boss?
Venom and the Queen are reunited and are heading back to the city as we speak. It is time to put our plan into action.
If his name is Tyrannus, I really hope that he's a dinosaur. Boom! Another chapter for you, my loyal readers. Seems the crap is about to hit the fan. So how do y'all feel about Prince Hans being Serpentine? I put a lot of thought into his character and his powers.
I can tell.
What, is Cletus writing this?
And Hans has always been snake-like in Frozen, and so I figured this Serpentine thing would fit him perfectly. Now, on a happier note...
There you go, I guess.
There we go. Now, on a happier note, I only posted my story 111.15, and I already have close to 180 views as of 114.15. I want to take this time to thank all of you for reading this story, and trust me, there's more to come. Till next time.
He wouldn't thank us.
Peace out. He might.
So long, Procephus.